Apologize.
Oh, no.
All right,
Whoop,
carry
there
on.
we go. I'm glad I'm not the only one that does it, Martin.
Sorry.
No worries. So this is basically, we're assuming that we've just gotten done having a conversation, right? So I'll just say, hey, John, before I come out, there's just a few more questions I need to ask you. Is that okay? Great. I can see there's like a typo right there. And so I'm going to say, so just to confirm, you're moving to LA, correct? He says, yes. I say, excellent. And you said you needed to be there in about the next 90 days. Is that correct? Yes, great. So let me ask you, if we sell your property in the next 30 days, would that pose a problem for you? I want to know the answer to that question. So do they have a place to go? Now, I'm asking this question for a couple of reasons, because I will sell their home in 30 days. I'll sell it sooner than that. And partly that's because of my pricing strategy. But I want to make sure that I know what their situation is. And if they go, no, actually, that could pose a problem for us. Okay, great. Tell me a little bit more about that. Well, the new home's not going to be ready for 45 days or whatever. Super. So, do you have a plan to stay with friends and family, or do you need to have this done in one move? And they'll say, well, no, we need to have it done in one move. Great. I have two great strategies for you that are going to allow you to stay in your home after the property has sold, so that you don't have to make two moves. Would you please just make a note and make sure that we talk about that when we get together? Yeah, great. Okay. So I'm not going to get into what that strategy is, but I'm also taking notes on a prequel sheet that I just print out, and I just write the answers to these questions next to each of them. Right. So now I know what their situation is, so I can have a conversation with them about that in person. Then next, so when we meet with you, how much do you want to list your home for realistically? Downswing, realistically. And then I'm not going to say a word. And they're going to say, well, um, 750,000. I'll say 750, great. Okay, so what price won't you go below? Well, we won't go below 710. Okay, 710. Awesome. When you see, guys, these little parentheticals after where it says like, okay, great, good for you. This is our kind of response back to them, right? So that we don't sound like we're interrogating them. We're giving them a little feedback in between each of these answers. And how much do you owe on the property? They're going to tell me what they owe. Let's say they owe 450, and I say 450. Wow, good for you. And what's your current interest rate on your mortgage? Now, for those that aren't necessarily skilled in this particular area, right? I still want you to answer this question, but one of our specialties is seller finance. I can help a client sell their property for 10% above market value and make an additional $100,000 on the total purchase price over time on that property if they're willing to do seller finance. There's something in the neighborhood of, it's an insane number. God, Tamara, I don't want to exaggerate. Wasn't it like in the US, God, it's like 5 million mortgages that are under 3.5%. It's an absolute best time of all time for sellers to offer seller finance and make a massive amount of money on the sale of their home, far more than a traditional sale. That's the reason I'm asking this question. Okay.
Well, and to go more into the seller finance issue here, I actually ran a search on our MLS this morning, and there is 60 just here in the Salt Lake Valley that are offering seller finance. So it's becoming more and more popular for those that are wanting to sell their home.
So this is something that you can also, and this is Martin, something we could do if we have enough interest in a separate training where we can walk you guys through seller finance and how it works, because it can definitely allow you to stand out from the competition when you're having a conversation about this with a homeowner. So then I'll say, so quickly, would you please quickly describe your home for me? Please quickly describe your home for me. Guys, I probably already know exactly what their home looks like. Why? Because I've looked it up on Zillow. I've seen whatever pictures they ran for their ad. The reason I'm asking this question is not because I care what their home looks like. This question, please quickly describe your home for me. I am going to determine as best I can what their personality style is. Based on how they answer that question, I'm going to be pretty accurate at being able to determine if they're a driver style. Okay, driver, think Donald Trump. Okay. Or if they're an analytical style, analytical, think Obama. If they're enthusiastic, like life of the party, or if they're amiable and just very, soft and friendly and they just want everybody to get along. Why do I want to know that? Because
Bella, can I interrupt you there for a second? I'm just curious to
yeah,
know how many of you guys know in the chat know what Belladonna is talking about. It's called, I don't know, I haven't if you call it the disc profile,
you
Belladonna,
can
but
call it disc. Yeah,
yeah,
it's also disc. Tony, that's the Tony Robbins version.
yeah, yeah.
And
How
so
many?
you guys,
Yeah, go on. Sorry for
oh no, no,
interrupting.
no, go ahead, Martin.
I was just going to say, how many of you guys know in the chat? Just put a one or a one or a yes in the chat if you know what disc is and know what Belladonna is talking about. I'm just curious.
Awesome. So yeah, guys, I am ascertaining their personality style so that I'm prepared for that when I go on the listing appointment. Now, guys, I'm going to give you all one of my super secret listing strategies. Most of the time, there's two people that we're presenting to, right? Because I would say, at least my experience is most homeowners are in some kind of a relationship where they're married. And so there's two people that I'm going to be meeting with a lot of the time. I'm going to try to determine the personality style of the person that I am setting the appointment with. Now, I have no idea what the personality style of their partner is, right? So I will always prepare every single listing appointment as if one of them is highly, highly analytical. I'm going to assume that I could walk into a listing appointment and the other person is an engineer or an accountant. So I'm going to have enough data. My CMA is going to have enough data. I'm going to have lists of under contracts and active and sold properties above and beyond what I would actually present to any other person. But I have them in reserve just in case there's a highly analytical person waiting to ambush me on that appointment. Okay. I've done it for years and it has really served me well. And so just as an FYI, so that's the purpose of asking that question there, right? And then next, I'm going to ask, is there anything positive or negative about your home that could affect the sales price? Whatever it is, I don't care. I just want to know so that I can do a good job with my CMA. And now, number 9, guys, this is my seller finance question. Are you interested in learning more about how you could sell your home for an average of 10% above market value by offering terms to a home buyer? Yes, no, or maybe, whatever it is. If they say yes, I'm also going to be prepped to have a seller finance conversation with them. And do you plan to interview more than one agent for the job of selling your home? If they say yes, I'm going to say, interesting. And who might that be? And when are those interviews set up for? Guys, you're not putting ideas in their head, right? These are competitive appointments. I generally know exactly who the hitters are in my marketplace for both FSBOs and expireds. Depending on whose name I hear on that list, there are some people out there that are really, really good. If I hear they're meeting with somebody who's excellent, I'm going to set my appointment to go in front of them because there might not be an appointment left if I let them go first, right? Because they might list the darn thing before I can get out there for my appointment. If I hear that it's just a bunch of whatever people, none of the big hitters that I know of in my marketplace, then I'm going to ask to go last, and I might reschedule to go at the very end, but I will ask for their commitment not to list with anybody until we show up, because I will absolutely show them some strategies that will help them make more than any traditional pitch that any traditional agent out there has for them. And I've got two things in my back pocket for that, guys. One is seller finance, and the other one is AI, artificial intelligence. Okay. So I want to know, who am I going up against? Then, of course, are there any other decision makers? Is there anyone else on title? Now, I will have pulled up title, guys, while I was talking to them on the phone. So if I see John and Mary, and I'll say, so is Mary, I see Mary here on title, John, is she going to be there as well? Yes. Okay, great. Do not go on the appointment if all decision makers are not present. What you should do instead is reschedule for a time when they will all be there. I don't care what they say. Sorry, I just had to take another sip of water. I don't care if they say, but I'm the decision maker. No, my husband has nothing to do with it. No, my wife will do whatever I say. You'll shoot yourself in the foot. One, can you get a signed listing if all parties are not on title or not present? No, you can't. So they all got to be there one way or another, right? And I'll usually say, hey, I can completely appreciate that, John, but I'm sure that, your wife may have questions that you don't even think to ask. And so what's the best time typically to catch you guys both at home? So if I need to, I will reschedule on the spot to when all decision makers are present. And then we get here to question number 13. What specifically are you looking for in a listing agent should you decide to list your home? Notice, list your home is in all caps for a reason. That's an NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, embedded command. So we are rather subtly kind of already talking to their subconscious mind that we're prepping them to list their home, right? So, I mean, I love this question. Why not ask them, what are they looking for in a listing agent? Right? Let them tell me, and then I'll make a note of that and make sure that I cover any of those things that are important to them during the presentation. And then the second most important question in this list here is, let me ask you this. If what I say makes sense and you feel comfortable and confident that I can sell your home when I see you tonight at 7, are you planning to list your home with me when I come out this evening? And then dead silence, guys. I'm going to let them answer that question. There's only one of 3 things they can say, right? Yes, maybe, or no. Yes is always great. I like hearing yes to that question. I'm totally okay with maybe. If I get a hard no, we are going to pause, and I'm going to ask a few more questions. And if it's a hard no, I'm going to say, so John, help me understand. What are you hoping to get out of our appointment this evening? Because if I don't have at least a chance to list that property, I'm not going. I can set enough of these appointments that I don't need to waste my time on somebody who's a hard no. Hell will freeze before I list my home with you or any agent, right? So I want an answer to that question before I head out. And then number 15, and this is what we'll spend the balance of our call on today, is, John, fantastic. Right now, I'm going to be emailing you a very important package of information. Will you please take a few minutes and review it before our appointment? Great. What's the best email address for you? And I'm going to send my pre-listing package over. And I am going to let him know, say, John, truly, my listing appointments typically only take 25 to 30 minutes. The way I'm able to keep these so brief is because of the information I'm sending you in this pre-listing package. so that we can make the best use of both of our times, would you please make sure that you review that before I come out? And I want a second, yes, I will. Okay, great. Then fantastic. I'm hitting send on that email now. I look forward to seeing you tonight at 6, tomorrow at 6, whenever it is. So before we roll into what's in that pre-listing package, do we have any questions from anybody on the pre-listing script? Or I should say the pre-qual script. We good to go? Anything in here that makes anybody uncomfortable?
David Diaz had said something about if they won't disclose. I'm not sure if you covered it, but he said if they won't disclose, and he always tries to be first. I think he's talking about if they won't disclose if they're meeting another realtor, maybe. I'm not sure.
Oh, gotcha. Like they won't tell you who they're meeting with, maybe, David. And sometimes people do that. They're funny about that. And you know what? This is a point of personal preference. If you like to go first or last, I like to go last, unless I know there's a big, like I said, a big hitter coming in before me. But my rationale for that is, yes, you can, Charlene, you can absolutely get these scripts. My rationale for that is I hate coming up against the excuse, well, we have all these other appointments and we have to meet. We made a commitment to ourselves that we're going to meet with 3 agents and then we're going to pray. And hey, this is Utah. They really do. I'm not even making fun of folks, right? But where they say, but we've made a solid commitment to ourselves that we're going to meet with 3 agents before we make a decision. Now, I will try my best to get around that and offer to cancel those appointments on their behalf so they don't have to make that awkward phone call. But some people will really stick to their guns on that. Like they're serious. They're going to do their due diligence. And frankly, I can't really blame them. So that is why I tend to like to go last and not first. So I don't have to deal with that. Yes, David, there is. So this is, we've got this FSBO accelerator script right here, and I will make sure that this goes out to everybody too. So we're good. We got you covered on that script to set the appointment. Okay, so let's talk about the pre-listing package. So I've got my pre-listing email template up on the screen for everybody. Now, there was somebody earlier in the chat that said that they'd gone on 3 FSBO listing appointments, I believe, but they haven't taken any yet. First of all, you're doing just fine, right? So for those that are new, you've got to cut yourself some slack. It takes a little time to get good at FSBO expired listing appointments, and they are competitive. So 1, I want you to know that going on 3 and not taking 1 is not a big deal at all. When I first started, gosh, I think when I very first started, I was about, I don't know, 1 in 6, give or take, go on 6, take 1. And then that dropped to 1 in 5, and then it dropped to 1 in 3. And, guys, I don't care how good I get. If I were to really run my numbers over the long haul, it's probably about 1 in 3 and that I take. For every 3 FSBOs that I go on, I take 1, right? Because there are some people that it just doesn't matter how good you are. They're going to go with the cheapest, or there's just somebody they like better, or there's just something, right? So I consider 1 in 3 highly respectable. I know a lot of agents that are right about that ballpark. Now, I know some agents that are a little better, but I also know agents that if I were to actually track their numbers, my guess is they're actually 1 in 3. So just as a managing broker, I find that as agents, we tend to exaggerate a little what our stats sometimes are. So now, standing out from the crowd, making it so that you become the obvious choice from all of these agents that they're meeting with, and the pre-listing package, along with a really solid listing presentation, is how you do that. So guys, here's the standard email, right, that we send out. And I'll actually even give credit to this. This is from a guy named Gary, who's he is a Sotheby's agent out of Austin, Texas. And I got this strategy from him, and it works like a charm. I like giving credit where credit's due. So notice our subject line: action required before our appointment on Friday. Very professional, very firm subject line, right? And then we just have their name there. Hi, as a reminder, our appointment's for Friday at 6:30 p.m. Before we meet, please complete the 3 simple activities to make the most of our time together. 1, watch these videos. Please take 10 minutes to watch these short videos on getting ready to sell your home. Spending 10 minutes now saves us 45 minutes later. And then each one of these, you guys, is simply a link to a very short video. These videos, guys, are basically 60 seconds long, right? On average, nothing longer than 3 minutes. Now, you can have a couple of different videos here, right? So one on how to market your property, how to get your home ready to sell. Okay, so I love having a getting your home ready to sell. Tamara and I have a slightly different one here. So instead of how to market your home, we have a why it's imperative that you hire an AI trained listing agent, right? And so we have a video on how we leverage artificial intelligence to market our properties far and beyond what the average just non-AI agent can do. And then here, how to hire a realtor. This is more for us. This is a little blurb on kind of who we are and why they might want to work with us. So short, sweet little videos, right? Nice and easy. Then we've got a link to our website, and then a link to our property marketing plan. Guys, if you don't have a marketing plan, you need one. Okay, so there are a million property marketing plans out there. Ours is, I say ours because Tamara and I actually go on listing appointments together. So ours is very detailed, right? It's a standalone marketing plan separate from our actual listing presentation. Then we say, hey, you know what? When it comes to choosing a realtor to list and market and sell your property, it's important to know the difference. Blah, blah, blah. Marketing proposal. This is also, you could call this your listing proposal, guys, right? And then if you have any questions prior to our appointment, please let us know. And there's everything. Now, I have a few more things in mind. I'm not going to lie, guys. I was rushing, getting ready for this call today. And so I have another version of this template. But pardon me, in addition to my marketing proposal here, I don't send the CMA. I do save the CMA for when we sit down in person, but I do use AI to do some I call it data mining, a real kind of deep dive on data for their zip code. I don't go larger than their zip code because it starts to become irrelevant, right? So it sounds hard, but guys, it couldn't be easier because we're not doing a darn thing. AI is doing it for us. So we just simply, I will also have a little snapshot there of data for their zip code going back for the last 6 months so that they have a good sense for what's happening in their market. So we've gone through the pre-listing call. They've gotten this pre-listing packet. They've watched these 3 videos. They've gone through the marketing plan. They've reviewed the listing proposal, right? And they've got a snapshot of data for their zip code with the in-depth, detailed analysis to come when we're in person. So let's and Martin, finally, we're keeping an eye on the time. We're about 15 minutes out. So, because I always go over, you guys. So let me ask you this. Who here thinks that if you, and then here you guys can see, here's like just the template form of this, that if you went through this step-by-step process and you sent this out to the client before you arrived, do you actually think this might help you convert more listings than you're converting currently? And it's okay if you like, we're not trying to get cheap yeses here. We'd really like to know, honestly, do you think this would help you stand out from your current competition in the marketplace?
I feel personally, when I was selling, I used to do similar things like this. And for me personally, I think this does a lot of the selling to the homeowner before you even get there. You know what I mean? So I really like this kind of script too. I think this is really, really valuable.
Yeah, and we're seeing,
okay, saves
awesome.
you time. It saves time where, I mean, I remember going on listing appointments and I was there for longer than I even needed to be there. And doing the pre-listing packets just shortened that so that I could do more presentations with less time and take more listings.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And do you know what? Let me ask you guys, like, who in the chat on the call today, if we gave you this, who would actually go out and actually do it? Like, obviously you would have to go and replace everything on all these links. Put a yes in the chat or an absolutely or something in the chat if you would actually go out and do this. We really want to know.
Nice. Oh, to mine data for the zip code. Luca. Yes. So, okay. So guys, this is, and Tammy, I didn't update the dates for the next webinar, so it probably still says October 13th. You guys, I've been so out of it. So to mine that data, what you need is you need a Chrome extension for your Chat GPT. And the Chrome extension allows ChatGPT to connect to the internet. And then the one we use is called Web Chat. It's actually called Web Chat GPT, free Chrome extension. And then I simply go into ChatGPT and I tell it, for the 84121 zip code, give me all relevant real estate sales data, residential real estate sales data going back 6 months, mine all relevant online resources such as Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com, and US Census. And that's it. That's all I put. And it's a
perfectly engineered prompt.
Yeah, it's pretty surprising the amount of data that it will come back with just that one simple prompt. And then I will tell it now, then it'll usually give it to me in a big long thing. And then I'll tell it, now compile it into a format that's easy for the consumer to read. And then I'll just copy and paste that right into my email. Oh, so David, here, you know what? I'm going to, give me a second, guys. I'm going to type the name of that extension right into the chat. So it is...
I gotcha.
Web Chat GPT. And so to find that, what you would do is you would open a, a new browser tab and type in WebChat GPT Chrome extension, and it'll take you right to it.
I just installed it on my one, Belladonna. When you click on it, does it open up ChatGPT or does it open up a little pop-up on the screen?
No, it opens up a pop-up. You'll get the drop down. There's just a small screen off to the side. And that's just, letting you know that it's actually installed. The best thing to do is once you have it installed is to pin it.
Okay, cool.
So here, I'll share my screen again really quick. So guys, this is the extension right here. Oh, so it's called WebChat GPT. So what I've done is I've just opened my Chat GPT. It also comes, if you're like, whoa, woman, what the hell? My Chat GPT doesn't look like that.
That's what I was
comes with all these. It comes with all these one-click prompts. So if I turn those off, then I probably have to refresh.
Oh, that's so much better. I was like, no, I don't want this on my ChatGPT. And then
no, you just have to turn it off like that.
Okay, awesome.
And then right here where it says web access. Okay, so guys, I'm just going to give you a quick 2-minute. 99% of the time when you're using ChatGPT, you must have web access turned off. It will totally screw up your results. It's only when you actually want ChatGPT to go search the internet. So when we're asking it for current relevant real estate data, we need it to search the internet. So then you click this button right here to turn it on. And do you see how it turned green? Then you can just simply type your question in here and just remember to come back in and turn it off. Although ChatGPT, I'm telling you, I think getting on the internet is like giving it crack. So sometimes I turn it off and it will not turn off. It keeps searching the internet. And I'm like, stop it. No means no. And I have to go and I have to refresh to make it stop searching the internet. So sometimes it won't listen to me.
Well, and if you haven't shut it off, you will know as soon as you hit the prompt and enter it in there, because you will get what you didn't ask for.
Yeah, you'll get all kinds of crazy
have just stuff. Nothing but a bunch of internet links that you was not searching for. You was wanting the data, not the links. And so you'll immediately decide to shut that off.
That's awesome. And guys, like for those of you here interested in anything AI, like Belladonna and Tamara have the best AI coaching for real estate agents, realtors that I've ever seen. So I don't know if one of you wants to drop that link in the chat. We still have to set up that link for us, by the way, so that I can sort that out, but we can do that at some stage. But these guys have a coaching program where they'll teach you how to use AI in your real estate business. So, definitely check that out if you guys want to. I don't know if you want to talk about that very briefly, guys.
The only issue, so if everybody will just bear with us, because I've been so sick, we normally do a weekly webinar and we haven't been able to do it because I've just been out of commission. We have a little sign up link that everybody can sign up for our next webinar. The only thing is I honestly don't know if we're doing it this Friday or not, because I'm still so sick.
She's still sick. So it's not going to be this week. It will be next Friday, not this Friday, just because we want Bella 100%. And she's not that way. And I have tons to show her, and she's been sick and I have had no access to Bella.
I know, because I've just been sleeping. So let me do this.
So let's plan for not this Friday, but next Friday. We'll make a tentative. Hopefully she's feeling much better by then. But we have an amazing course, and the webinar's tons of fun because Bella and I are just a lot of fun to hang out with. But we are just teaching how to leverage AI so that you become the authority in your market and the listing agent that your tribe or the ones that you're vibing with come to. So you're only working with those that want to work with you. So it takes all of the crap sellers and buyers that you don't necessarily want to work with and matches you up, and we get you aligned with those that you do. That's what our program is. But we have things that you don't necessarily see that we teach. We teach lots of video, how-tos, different programs. We teach, I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to doing graphics and figuring out different ways to lead generate. And so we have programs within our program to show you how to do that. And we try to get you with your marketing budget under $100 using AI. So the programs that we show you, you can pretty much do most for free, and then some are paid. That's, but it's your choice whether you go free or you go paid. But It's a great course, and hopefully we'll drop the link and just know that it says October 13th, but it will be October 13th. We'll get that updated, and it will be a week from this Friday for our next webinar.
Actually, I'm getting it updated right now. I should have it done by the time Martin's done chatting about his cool stuff.
Okay, cool, guys. And guys, stick around as well, because I'm going to share with you how you can get access to the scripts that we talked about today. And Belladonna, I don't know if you want to share that new one that you shared today as well, because I've got to add that to it. But yeah, so stick around for a second, guys, and I'll share with you how you can get that. And I know that there's a bunch of you in here using RealConnect for your expireds and your FSBOs, your leads coming in as well. We want to make sure that those of you who are already using it, you're fully supported and you know how to use the platform as well. So all of the calling and prospecting out to these leads, we're going to talk more about that when we come to when we do our round loop in 2 weeks, and we talk a little bit more about the scripts of cold calling and actually getting in touch with these people. Next week, we're going to be covering on this coaching, we're going to be covering actually the listing presentation. And the following week, we'll talk more about the cold calling and the mindset again. But for those of you using RealConnect, great. And we're here to help you, and we're here to support you. If you're having trouble with the platform, you need help with it. And for those of you who aren't using RealConnect, guys, just briefly want to tell you about what we do. We will provide you with a 7-day free trial to the platform, where you can get access to the latest expired, canceled, and withdrawn listing leads, as well as FSBOs from Trulia and Zillow. And we scrub all the leads for you. We make sure we get the contact details. We check them against the do not call list. And we've just deployed an update, guys, where if a listing expires and then it comes back on the market, we will update that lead live in the system. It'll be tagged active as well. So you'll know that you don't reach out to those ones because they've relisted already, really quickly or something like that. So if you're interested in looking at RealConnect, it's a 7-day free trial, guys. So you could literally, if you want to, you could jump on RealConnect for 7 days, grab a bunch of leads, then cancel. Right? Like that's how we set it up. I know it's not a good business model, right? But like you could do that if you want to, for those of you. So that there in the chat, I sent it to David by accident. I'll send it to everybody. That there in the chat, that is the link where you can jump into and grab a free trial for RealConnect. And for those of you who are still wanting the scripts, guys, I'm going to say from here on, like we're only going to release these scripts live on these calls. So I'm going to pop a link in the bottom of the chat there right now. If you want the scripts that we've got access to, that Belladonna and Tamara have been so kind to share with us, the second link in the chat right now, if you go, just quickly fill in that form and we will send you out all of the scripts that you want as well. And then, the last thing from me before we sign off, guys, is, don't forget, this happens every week at 4 p.m. on Wednesdays, 4 p.m. Eastern. So, you're very, very welcome to join, and bring your friends, bring any colleagues that you think might get value out of this, that need, help with anything to do with getting more listings, guys. That's what we're here for.
Absolutely.
And then I went ahead and updated that, our webinar registration, so it should say November 3rd now. So
do you guys want to drop the link?
Go. Yep, I just dropped it.
She got it.
Oh, I didn't. It's not in the chat. You might have sent it direct message.
Oh, there we go.
Cool. So the link to that AI listing agent for the ladies, guys, is in the chat now.
And then
Cool.
I'm trying to think, oh, can I give you a plug just on the
Real quick.
side for those that may not be using FSBO expired services or dialers, guys. I've used every conceivable for sale by owner expired service there is out there. I've done a lot of the different dialers, Mojo, Batch Dialer, Storm Dialer, the Vulcan, the new name for Storm, the Red X one, who their customer service sucks. So I don't, they get a negative plug from me. But the leads are great. They're as good as any leads you're going to get anywhere out there. The system is so dialed in. And truly, guys, the platform, the Real Connect platform has such massive capability that none of these other platforms offer you. None of them. The CRM, it actually does so much cool stuff behind the scenes. It's hard to even talk about to agents because for most agents, they're just like, whoa, that's more than I even want it to do. So just know, if you currently don't have a wicked kick-ass CRM, you don't have the ability to send fantastic, super easy email and text follow-up, video, text, and email follow-up to your leads, all of that all comes baked into this system. And
it's really user-friendly. It is really user-friendly. I mean, I've actually been quite pleased with the service myself. So
awesome. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate that. We're really trying to create a platform that
Janie was saying better than Chime. Janie, it kicks Chime's ass. It's better than Chime. It's better than Sync. It's better than Firepoint. It's better than Sierra. It's better than KV Core. It's better than Ylopo. Yes, I have used every single one of those systems, every single one. And it's like, holy crap, man. Yes. If it's a CRM, I've tried it. And to put it in perspective, Sync, $1,300 a month. Before ad spend. I mean, like, that's before you even get any leads in your system, right? KV Core, $600 a month. Sierra and Firepoint were both around $300 a month. And then Janie says she's using Top Producer for a while. So Top Producer is a different thing, Janie, because if I'm not mistaken, and I used Top Producer way back in the day, you're not getting FSBOs and expireds pushed into your Top Producer, are you? And so we
can probably do that. We can integrate with most CRMs, guys. And if you're using our CRM, it's a 7-day trial, then $197 per month. But Janie, if you want expireds and FSBOs pushed into your CRM, into Top Producer, I'm just looked it up just now. We can do that. So that's again, it's a 7-day trial and then $139 a month, and we can just push the leads directly in there. And then if you come to the end of your time with Top Producer and you want to look at our CRM, we can look at it then too as well with you guys. We can Follow Up Boss. We can put all of your leads into Follow Up Boss too, guys. You were from Redix and LandVoice. I'm not familiar with LandVoice myself, but I know for a fact that I think we're the only provider that actually can sync all of our leads directly into whatever CRM you're already using as well. So we do have that option.
Yeah, and I use LandVoice for FSBOs expireds. Yep. KV Core. I have KV Core right now. LandVoice is terrible, I agree. And the Red X is okay, but just for the record, guys, they seriously pissed me off, and I'm happy to give them negative PR because I had paid for $1,000 for 3 months. It was $1,000 for 3 months for FSBOs expired. So they're not cheap. Okay. And I called to cancel because I switched to these guys, and they charged me anyway because I was 12 hours late canceling. And I was like, really? Like, seriously? Okay, whatever. But that's kind of my experience with the Red X. They're nice until they're not.
Awesome. And hey, Delilah, Real Connect is a 7-day free trial followed by $197 per month for the platform. And we, a lot of questions, sometimes we get a question, do we charge you on a closing or a referral fee, all of that, and none of that. Okay. It's just a free trial and then $197 per month. Once you get in, we will actually get you an onboarding call and we'll make sure that you're set up correctly and you know how to use the system. And Delilah had a question earlier as well. Can you share a link for the script? I'll post a link again, guys. It's just this link here. If you want the scripts, just click on this link I've just posted and please jump in and fill that in and we'll send the scripts out to you. Jerry Reese says, is there an upgrade from the 197 plan? There is an option to upgrade from the 197 plan, but you will talk about that more if you actually jump on the free trial, but you don't need it. Like you can jump in and do the free trial and go on the 197 plan. You've got everything that you need. There are some other things that yes, you can upgrade from, but you don't need them to be able to be successful with our system. I have 9 months left of my contract with Market Leader for my website and CRM. Okay, no, that makes sense. Again, we can plug these leads directly into your system, Ryan, into Market Leader if you want on our $139 plan. Okay, so instead of the $197 for the full system, just the leads only for $139. So that's an option too if you want to jump in. Cool, guys. That's pretty much it for me, unless there's more questions in the chat. Did you guys have any more questions? Or any more comments at all, Bella and Tamara? I keep calling you Bella, but I haven't got permission to do that. Is Bella okay, or do you prefer to just be the full Belladonna?
Bella is totally okay. It's like way too long of a name to be picky.
No worries.
So we're good.
All right. Awesome, guys. Cool. Thank you so much for everybody joining today. We ran over a little bit, but is the free trial limited because I am not getting more expired in my area? Is the free trial limited? Best Realtor. I don't know what I've just had a direct message, guys. Sorry, I just want to answer him. I don't know who you are because your name just says Best Realtor. So do you want to just message, maybe just stay on the line and then we'll kill the stream and we can have a quick chat about that if you want. Cool, guys. Thank you everyone for joining. I appreciate you being here and we will see you next week. All right. Thank you so much. I'll hang around for a little bit longer if anyone has questions.
Yeah, Jerry had a question if it was $139 or $179 on that price.
So it's $197 for the full system, and that's with a CRM, with a dialer. You can text message. We give you a prospecting system as well, where you come in and it's kind of everything set up for you and all of that sort of good stuff. But if you just want the leads and you don't need the system, we'll put the leads directly into whatever CRM you're already using at $139. Yeah, so $197 or $139. Cool. Awesome, guys. I'm going to kill the recording now.